and we will get started.
I see the button. We're recording.
Are we are we webcasting as well, or is that goes with it?
I believe that goes with it. The cloud is recording.
Okay,
little
okay,
signal.
great. Thank you. Okay, good morning. Welcome to the New York City Retirement Systems Common Investment Meeting on Zoom for Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. We're going to start by calling the roll at each board. So I see that the Police Pension Fund Boardroom is with us. So I'm going to ask you to unmute, and I can see Sens. I'm not sure if I can see Kevin, but whoever's there, can you please call the roll for the Police Pension Fund?
Absolutely, Mr. Facilitator.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All righty. Representing the mayor,
Shumon Ray, representing Mayor Bill de Blasio.
representing Commissioner of Finance,
Phil Dukes, representing Finance Commissioner Sharif Suleiman.
representing the Controller,
John Dorsett, designee for Controller Scott Stringer.
and with me here I have,
Stephanie Zenberg, representing Commissioner Shea.
all right, for the PBA.
Joseph Alejandro.
Any with us today, Joe, or no? Oh,
Sure.
all righty. DEA,
Kenny Sparks.
SBA,
Anthony Borelli.
LBA,
John Beatty, good morning.
good morning, and the CEA.
Good morning, Bobby. Johnny Ramirez.
All right, Mr. Facilitator, as you heard, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sens. That was done with much grace.
It was marvelous. It was marvelous.
Thank
You
you.
look solid. Let me tell you this.
Okay, now let's move to the Fire Pension Fund, and I see that Mr. Leroy McGinnis has come on camera. Leroy, are you going to take us through this? No, Mr. Dunn, are you with us?
Patrick's on.
Come on,
Pat's
John.
Okay, just didn't see you on my screen, but there you are. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, John. How are you? For the mayor's office,
Cynthia Collins, designee for Mayor Bill de Blasio.
for Controller Stringer's office,
Well,
John
go ahead.
Dorsett, designee for Controller Scott Stringer. I'll hold the proxy till Jennifer Konovitz arrives.
for Commissioner Solomon Finance's office,
Steve Gant for Finance Commissioner Sharif Solomon.
okay, for the UFA, Mr. Andrew Ansbro,
Andrew Ansbro, present.
Mr. Robert Eustace,
Present.
Mr. Edward Brown,
Bobby Eustace with Eddie Brown's proxy.
Mr. Eric Bischoff,
Good morning, Eric Bischoff, present.
Mr. Peter DeVita,
John Young with Peter DeVita's proxy.
okay, for the UFOA, Mr. Jack Kelty,
Here.
Mr. Liam Guilfoyle,
Here.
Mr. Paul Mannix,
Here.
and for Fire Commissioner Daniel Nigro.
Cheryl Brown for Commissioner Nigro.
Good morning, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn. Let's move to the Teachers Retirement System. Who is going to call the roll for teachers? Is that Ms. Riley?
I'm here today.
Great.
Okay, good morning. John Adler,
I am here.
Thomas Brown,
Morning, Patricia, I'm here.
morning. Natalie Green Giles,
Here.
David Kazansky. Russell Buckley.
Here.
Deborah Penny.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning. Susanna Vickers.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great. Thank you, Patricia. And for NICERS, Ms. Winery,
Good morning, Chair, Mayor's Office,
John Adler, present.
Comptroller's Office,
David Jeter for Controller Scott Stringer, present.
Public Advocate's Office. Borough President, Manhattan.
Matthew Washington from Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer.
Borough President, Brooklyn.
Tanya Cantlow for Brooklyn Borough President, Eric Adams.
Borough President, Bronx.
Martha Camille Sabio for Bronx Borough President, Ruben Diaz Jr.
Borough President, Queens.
Alan Swisher for Queensborough President, Donovan Richards.
Borough President, Staten Island.
Isaac Gordetsky for Staten Island Borough President, James Otto.
International Brotherhood of Teamsters.
Ruben Torres and Lawrence Bosley for President Gregory Floyd.
Transport Workers Union.
Dave Katzman for TWU Local 100 President Tony Utana.
And District Council 37.
Santander and Robin, if she's here, for Executive Director Henry Garrido.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Melanie. And for the Board of Education Retirement System,
Morning, John. Sandy Rich.
morning, Sandy.
We are represented today by trustees John Maderick, Natalie Green Giles, and Russell Buckley. We do not have a quorum, and we will administer this business at our next Board of Trustees meeting scheduled for April 29th.
Great, thank you, Mr. Rich. Okay, we are all in
Sandy,
session.
sorry, I see that Larry and Angelo is also on.
Thank you, Natalie. I didn't see that. The list is getting very long to follow. But thank you, Larry.
Okay, all right. Everyone is present and accounted for. We have no morning agenda in public session. So we are going to go right to motions to exit public and go into executive session. So we will take them in reverse order. At NICERS, is there a motion to exit public session and go into executive session?
So moved, Matthew Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. Is there a second?
Second, Lawrence Bosley.
Thank you, Mr. Bosley. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion at NICERS to exit public and enter executive session, please unmute yourselves and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. At teachers, is there a motion to exit public session and enter executive session?
Tom Brown, so moved, John.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Is there a second?
Second, Deborah Penny.
Thank you, Ms. Penny. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion at teachers to exit public and enter executive session, please unmute yourselves and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. At fire, is there a motion to exit executive session and enter public session?
So moved, Terrell Brown.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Is there a second?
Second, Eric Bischoff.
Thank you, Mr. Bischoff. I saw someone coming out of UFOA, but I couldn't catch who, so we'll give that second to Eric Bischoff. Any discussion at fire? All in favor of the motion to exit public session and enter executive session at fire, please unmute yourselves and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. And at police, is there a motion to exit public session and enter executive session?
Motion to exit public session and go into executive session.
Thank you, Mr. Alejandro. Is there a second?
Yep, John Dorsa, second.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsa. Any discussion at police? All in favor of the motion to exit public session and enter executive session at police, please unmute yourselves and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries at police. We are now out of public session. Please, let's turn the cameras off. And I will ask any members of the public or the media to exit the Zoom.